Any argument on this particular witness before I go ahead and make a decision? Mr. Adams?
Yes, sir. Just very briefly on behalf of Mr. Williams, the issue before the court is whether or not he should be qualified as, if I think the state is moving to qualify him as a forensic video analyst. Did I get that correct?
Yes, sir. Forensic video analysis.
I would say to the court, Your Honor, based clearly upon the responses to the questions put before this witness, and in consideration of the Daubert standard and Rule 702, that this witness is clearly not qualified under that standard. I would just state the court knows the law, so I will just say that under the Daubert standard, we look towards relevance and reliability of the witness's testimony. Putting aside the relevance, that's not really what we're talking about. We're talking about reliability of the technique of the proffer testimony that would be offered. And although 702 in Daubert is somewhat flexible, it's geared towards scientific validity and the principles that underlie a proposed submission, in this case, of video enhancement. We don't look towards the conclusion, we look towards the principles and the methodology. And we look towards whether or not there's been a testing of the experts, the proffered experts' theory. There has not been. We look for whether or not there's been publication in support of the experts' method or theory. There's no testimony that there has been any of that. We look towards, the court is advised under Daubert to look towards.
What about his education? Because that's kind of the issue for me is, so we want to talk about that or his experience, I should say. He's been doing this 30 years, so.
Education and experience is factors that the court can look to as well. But and I heard the witness testify that he has testified in regards to video enhancements upwards of 50 times. Those 50 testimonies could all have been improper. They could have been wrong because the methodology has to be tested. They could all very well have been done under the Harper standard, which is no longer the law in the state of Georgia. The question before the court is whether or not this witness meets the Daubert requirements. And I would say to the court that simply looking at the responses to the questions, both on direct and on cross, or on voir dire, that he does not. That the witnesses testified that there are no protocols to the methodology used by him. He is unable to indicate whether or not his method or his methodology is generally accepted. There is no peer review. It's not just that he doesn't know if there's any peer review. There is no peer review of his methodology. There is no testimony as to the error rate of his methodology. Under all of those factors, he fails. This witness fails in terms of being able to be qualified as an expert. And I would ask the court to deny the state's request to qualify this gentleman as an expert.
All right. Anybody wish to add to Mr. Adams? What he is? Don't regurgitate, but just add if you've got anything to that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Johnson.
On behalf of Mr. Eppinger, Your Honor, the court pointed out the education and experience in this particular case. The witness testified that he had performed almost 500 of these video analysis over 30 years. That breaks down to less than 2 per month over the past 30 years. He also testified that he does not have any formal education or no continuing education with regards to these things over the past 30 years. Those are two things that he directly testified to. He has not shown that he has the requisite experience in this particular matter to be qualified as an expert, and as such, neither the education, Your Honor. So we believe that under Daubert, he should not be qualified as an expert. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else?
Hi, guys. Today I'm sharing true